Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes part in Buddha Jayanti celebrations at Maya Devi Temple in Lumbini, Nepal. Strengthening of India-Nepal ties to be in focus at the bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Modi and his Nepalese counterpart, Sher Bahadur Deuba. Prime Minister to visit the Mahaparinirvan Stupa in Kushinagar, Uttar Pradesh this afternoon. Buddha Purnima is being celebrated across the globe. 11 ministers inducted in Tripura cabinet by Chief Minister Manik Saha. Centre allows Food Corporation of India to procure wheat in Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh. Met Department predicts relief from heat wave from tomorrow in Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana and Delhi. Also issues red alert in 5 districts of Kerala following heavy rain. 7 districts of Assam reeling under flood, affecting nearly 57,000 people. In hockey, Karnataka enters final of the Senior Women National Championship, beating Haryana 2-0. Second semi-final between Odisha and Jharkhand at 4 p.m. today. And in IPL cricket, Punjab Kings to take on Delhi Capitals at D.Y. Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today took part in the celebrations of Vaishak Buddha Purnima in Lumbini, Nepal, the birthplace of Lord Buddha. Mr. Modi was received by his Nepali counterpart, Sher Bahadur Deuba, on his arrival. Prime Minister Modi visited the sacred Maya Devi Temple in Lumbini and offered prayers.
Tiyo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu Mate bhavantantarayo sukhi dikayuko bhava Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata Sabba buddhanubhavena sada soti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata.
The Prime Minister held a bilateral meeting with his Nepalese counterpart a short while ago. Earlier, Mr. Modi took part in the Shilanyas ceremony for the construction of a unique centre for Buddhist culture and heritage within the Lumbini monastic zone. The construction of a unique India International Centre for Buddhist Culture and Heritage will be undertaken by the International Buddhist Confederation, India. It will be built under the auspices of the Lumbini Development Trust with the financial support of the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. The Buddhist Centre will be the first net zero emission building in Nepal. The Prime Minister landed at Kushinagar International Airport in Uttar Pradesh this morning and boarded a chopper to Lumbini. This is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 5th visit to Nepal since 2014 and his first visit to Lumbini. Mr. Modi's visit continues the tradition of regular high-level exchanges between India and Nepal in furtherance of India's neighbourhood first policy. It underscores the shared civilizational heritage of the people of both the countries. The Prime Minister will also deliver an address at a Buddha Purnima event organized by the Lumbini Development Trust under the aegis of the Government of Nepal. After attending programs at Lumbini, the Prime Minister will fly back to Kushinagar by 4 p.m., where he is scheduled to visit the Mahaparinirvan Stupa. Mr. Modi will spend around 10 minutes in darshan and pujan at the stupa. He will also offer shivar before the statue of the reclining Buddha. The full moon day, Buddha Purnima, is the most sacred day for Buddhists. It marks the birth of Gautam Buddha in Lumbini, his enlightenment under the Mahabodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, and attaining Mahaparinirvan in Kushinagar on the same day. According to Buddhist legends, Buddha was born as Prince Siddhartha Gautam on the Vaishak full moon day in 563 BC at Lumbini in Nepal. His birth anniversary is also known as Vaishak Buddha Purnima or Vesak. This day is commemorated by Buddhists all over the world and is a major festival in countries like India, Nepal, Bhutan, Burma, Thailand, Tibet, China, Korea, Laos, Vietnam, Mongolia, Cambodia, Singapore, Indonesia and Sri Lanka. In Bihar, Buddha Purnima is being celebrated with religious fervour and gaiety. The main function has been organized at Mahabodhi Temple in Bodh Gaya, where Lord Buddha attained enlightenment under the pious Bodhi tree. Buddha Jayanti celebrations are taking place in Gaya after a gap of 2 years due to the COVID pandemic. A report.
Around 7,000 Buddhist monks and devotees of different countries, including Japan, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, have come at Bodh Gaya to celebrate Buddha Purnima. A special prayer was organized under Bodhi tree this morning, in which monks of various countries participated. They prayed for the world peace. Shobha Yatra was also taken out, in which large number of devotees took part. Mahabodhi temples wear a festive look, and areas around temple is decorated with colorful flags and flowers. Monasteries of different Buddhist countries have also been nicely decorated. Tight security arrangements have been made around Mahabodhi temple. Krishna Kumar Lal, AIR News, Patna.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has greeted people on the occasion of Buddha Purnima. In his message, Mr. Naidu said, one of the most illustrious spiritual leaders of the world, Lord Buddha, preached the most profound truths. His teachings were aimed at finding the root cause of our sorrows and liberating the sentient beings from suffering. Mr. Naidu said, undoubtedly, Bhagwan Buddha and his Dhamma are an eternal source of light, guiding us on the path of morality, contentment and happiness. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his message on the occasion, said that on Buddha Purnima we recall the principles of Lord Buddha and reiterate our commitment to fulfill them. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, the thoughts of Lord Buddha can make our planet more peaceful, harmonious and sustainable. In Tripura, newly inducted 11 ministers in Manik Saha cabinet took oath this noon at Raj Bhavan. Tripura Governor Satyadev Narayan Arya administered the oath of office in secrecy to the inducted ministers. Out of the 11 MLAs, 9 are from BJP and 2 from the IPFT. All the ministers of the Biplab Kumar Dev cabinet, barring Mewar Kumar Jamatia of IPFT, have found place in the new cabinet. Former Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Dev, party central leaders and other dignitaries were also present at the swearing-in ceremony.
The centre has decided to allow Food Corporation of India to procure wheat in Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh for central pool by relaxing the fair average quality FAQ norms of shriveled and broken grains. It has relaxed the FAQ norms of such grains up to 18% without any value cut. The decision will reduce the hardship of farmers and avoid distress sale of wheat. The state governments of Punjab and Haryana wrote to the Department of Food and Public Distribution seeking relaxation and uniform specifications of wheat for Rabi marketing season 2022-23. The limit of shriveled and broken grains is 6% and relaxation was sought up to 20%. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution in a statement said the emergence of shriveled grains is a natural phenomenon appearing as a result of extreme heat wave that enveloped the northern part of the country in the month of March. These adverse weather conditions are beyond the control of the farmers and hence they should not be penalized for such natural occurrence. The ministry said accordingly the change in texture of the grain deserves to be sympathetically considered by the government to ease the hardship of farmers. India has registered a strong protest with the government of Pakistan on continued targeting of members of the minority community in Pakistan. In response to media queries on target killing of 2 Sikh traders in Peshawar of Pakistan, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said India has seen the reports of the brutal killing of 2 Sikh traders by unidentified armed men in Peshawar, and sadly this is not the first such case or a rare occurrence. Mr. Bagchi said grave concerns have been expressed by various quarters of the Indian civil society and the Sikh community at this shocking and deplorable incident. He said India has asked the authorities concerned to sincerely investigate the matter and take strict action against those responsible for this deplorable incident.
The nation will witness a landmark event in the history of indigenous warship building when 2 frontline warships of Indian Navy will be launched concurrently at Mazgaon Docks Limited, Mumbai tomorrow. The warships are a Project 15B destroyer Surat and a Project 17A frigate Udaygiri. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will be the chief guest for the events. The Project 15B class of ships are the next generation stealth-guided missile destroyers of the Indian Navy being built at the Mazgaon Docks Limited, Mumbai. Surat is the fourth ship of Project 15B destroyers. Udaygiri, named after a mountain range in the state of Andhra Pradesh, is the third ship of Project 17A frigates. These are follow-on of the P-17 frigates Shivalik class with improved stealth features, advanced weapons and sensors and platform management systems. You're listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes part in Buddha Jayanti celebrations at Maya Devi Temple in Lumbini, Nepal. Strengthening of India-Nepal ties to be in focus at the bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Modi and his Nepalese counterpart Sher Bahadur Deuba. Prime Minister to visit the Mahaparinirvan Stoop in Kushinagar, Uttar Pradesh this afternoon. Buddha Purnima is being celebrated across the globe. 11 ministers inducted in Tripura cabinet by Chief Minister Manik Saha. Centre allows Food Corporation of India to procure wheat in Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh. Met Department predicts relief from heat wave from tomorrow in Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana and Delhi. 7 districts of Assam reeling under flood affecting nearly 57,000 people. In hockey, Karnataka enters final of the Senior Women National Championship, beating Haryana 2-0. Second semi-final between Odisha and Jharkhand at 4 p.m. today. And in IPL cricket, Punjab Kings to take on Delhi Capitals at D.Y. Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। इस बार का विषय है एंथ्रोपोलॉजी और सवाल भेजने की अंतिम तारीख है 18 मई। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
Welcome back to the Midday News. On the first leg of his visit to Jamaica and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, President Ramnath Kovind reached Kingston, the capital city of Jamaica, early this morning. He was received by Governor-General of Jamaica, Sir Patrick Allen. The President will be in Jamaica till the 18th of this month, where he will hold delegation-level talks with his counterpart, the Governor-General of Jamaica. He will also meet Prime Minister Andrew Holness and other dignitaries. During the visit, the President will address the joint sitting of the two houses of the Jamaican Parliament. The visit comes at a significant milestone, as 2022 is the 60th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between India and Jamaica. Our correspondent accompanying the President has filed this report.
The first ever head of state visit to these countries is a continuation of India's high-level engagement in the Caribbean region. Jamaica and India have friendly relations. Jamaica is also one of the Grimitiya countries with a strong Indian diaspora who act as a living bridge with India. The warm reception accorded to President Kovind signifies the strong bond that connects the two nations. This is Arun Kumar Singh from Kingston for All India Radio News.
Sikkim is celebrating its 47th State Day today. It was on the 16th of May 1975 that the erstwhile kingdom became a part of India as its 22nd state. President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have wished the people of Sikkim on the occasion. In a tweet, the President said Sikkim has set an example before the rest of the country in organic farming and adopting the path of sustainable development. My best wishes to all the residents of Sikkim for the continued growth and prosperity, he added. Wishing people happiness and good health, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the people of Sikkim have distinguished themselves in diverse fields and are making rich contributions to national progress. He added, may the people of the state be blessed with happiness and good health. More from our correspondent.
In a message, Sikkim Governor Ganga Prasad said, "Today is the day when Sikkim became part of mainstream democracy to progress in the path of development and unity. And since then, the state has created a global identity." Chief Minister P.S. Tamang said, "On this fateful day, Sikkim opted for democracy, and from that moment onwards, Sikkimese people have contributed to the development and prosperity of our nation, integrating a deep bond with the country." He said, "Sikkim has made significant strides in the last 47 years, creating a unique identity." With Saikat Sarkar, Namu Dikshit from Sikkim for AIR.
More than 191 crore 37 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry said more than 3 lakh 10,000 doses were administered in the last 24 hours. During the same period, 2,202 new COVID cases were reported in the country. India's active caseload currently stands at 17,317 and the recovery rate stands at 98.74%. A total of 2,550 people have recovered in the last 24 hours and total recoveries touched over 4 crore 25 lakh and 82,000. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has said that the government has made a provision of 3 lakh crore rupees to be spent under the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan during next 5 years. Inaugurating an Atal Tinkering Lab in Shishu Vidya Mandir in capital Bhubaneswar in Odisha yesterday, the union said that under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Atal Tinkering Labs are being set up in schools to inculcate scientific temper among students. And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
"16th May is celebrated as Sikkim Day. As on this day in 1975, Sikkim became part of India.
Initially, Sikkim was under Chogyar dynasty rule during the 17th century. However, by 1890, it became a protectorate state under British rule, who used it as a buffer state between China and British India. In 1947, as Sikkim became a part of India unofficially, its foreign policy, security and communication came under the realm of India, while maintaining its independence at the same time.
In 1973, the people started demanding a responsible government, and a civil disobedience movement was established against the monarch. A referendum was held in which 97.5% of voters supported abolishing the monarchy. This led to Sikkim's official merger with India. To enable the incorporation of the new state, the Indian Parliament amended the Indian Constitution.
First, the 35th Amendment laid down a set of conditions that made Sikkim an associate state. A month later, the 36th Amendment repealed the 35th Amendment and made Sikkim a full state, adding its name to the first schedule of the Constitution.
We remember freedom fighter Bhim Bordeori, who was born on the 16th of May 1903. Bhim Bordeori struggled for the socio-economic educational development of Assam, uniting all the communities of the state. He also fought and ensured Assam's integration into India.
lawyer by profession, Deori helped found the Assam Backward Plains Tribal League in 1933. He worked to ensure that indigenous Assamese people were allotted land. Deori was one of the main architects of the famous Khasi Darbar Hall resolutions held in March 1945, where indigenous leaders of different ethnic identities resolved resolutions to restore their independent homelands.
He led northeast India towards a new vision of development while maintaining the independence of different tribes. Bhimbor Deori continued to fight for the rights of indigenous people till the end. AIR News salutes the great Indian.
We also remember nationalist Raghunath Narasimha Mudholkar, who was born on the 16th of May 1857 at Khandesh, Maharashtra. A moderate leader, Mudholkar served as president of the 1912 Bankipur session of the Indian National Congress. He advocated social reforms like female education, widow remarriage, and removal of untouchability.
Raghunath Mudholkar was a follower of Gokhale and believed that the national movement should be constitutional and non-violent. He criticized the economic policy of the British government and helped establish a number of industries in Vidarbha. In 1890, he was sent to England as a part of Congress delegation to voice the grievances of the Indians. Raghunath Mudholkar continued to work for the people till his death on the 13th of January 1921. We salute the great Indian.
आरंभ है प्रचंड बोल मस्तकों के झुंड आज चंद्र की घड़ी की तुम गुहार दो.
We remember independence activist Sahu, who took part in the First War of Indian Independence in 1857. Sahu was caught by company troops in the course of an encounter. He died during captivity on the Andaman Islands on the 16th of May 1859. We salute the great martyr.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow. आजादी के आंदोलन के खजाने में ऐसे ढेरों शब्द जिन्होंने बदल दिए इतिहास, तारीख बदलने वाले लफ्जों पर आकाशवाणी समाचार प्रसारित कर रहा है विशेष कार्यक्रम धरोहर हर सोमवार।
The prestigious Cannes Film Festival in France opens tomorrow. It will see a tribute to actor Tom Cruise, whose film Top Gun Maverick is due to premiere at the festival. Red carpet event at the 75th Cannes Film Festival is going to be a gala event. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur, along with movie celebrities including A.R. Rahman and Nawazuddin Siddiqui, is set to walk as part of the Indian delegation. India is the official country of honour at Cannes Film Market in this edition of the festival. This is the first time that this honour has been bestowed on any country and comes at a time when India is celebrating its Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. India and France are also celebrating 75 years of diplomatic relations this year. In Sri Lanka, Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Vijayasekara said today that adequate fuel would be made available soon, as 3 ships carrying fuel are scheduled to sail into Sri Lankan waters in the next 2 weeks under the Indian Credit Line. In a Twitter post, he said with the arrival of the diesel cargo yesterday and 3 vessels to reach in the next 2 weeks under the Indian Credit Line, adequate fuel would be made available.
In Himachal Pradesh, the fire that broke out in the forest near the Air Force Station in Kasauli yesterday was brought under control today. The blaze has been brought under control after relentless efforts of the Air Force personnel and firefighters. The fire started from the hilltop near the Air Force Station. There was no way for fire tenders to reach the site, so the Air Force pressed its choppers into service to douse the flames that threatened to spread to a residential area. The India Meteorological Department has said that the heat wave will not affect Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana and Delhi tomorrow onwards. The department said that the temperature has started to fall 3 to 5 degrees in this region from today. Talking to AIR News, senior scientist in IMD, R.K. Jenamani said the department predicted the heat wave condition will improve in Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana and Delhi from today. He said that the department has also downgraded its warning from red, orange to yellow for this region.
We have seen the temperature condition, which was, the highest temperature reaching 46 to 48 over most part of Rajasthan, including Haryana, Punjab and Delhi. That has started falling as we have predicted, and the wind condition mainly because western disturbance has started affecting the region. So the temperature will fall 3 to 5 degrees today, and the low and heat wave condition will improve today also. So we have downgraded our warning from orange and red to simple yellow color for today. Tomorrow onward, there will be no heat wave over Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana and Delhi. There is likely to be duststorm and thunderstorm for next 3 days. So that is about the heat wave condition. About the monsoon, as we predicted, the monsoon has advanced over southeast Bay of Bengal and Andaman Sea, reached up to Long Island. Monsoon covered also Port Blair.
In Assam, Air Force, NDRF and Assam Rifles have been pressed into rescue operations at the Lumding division of the Northeast Frontier Railway. Incessant rain and landslides have thrown life out of gear, mostly in the Dima Hasao district. Yesterday, over 1,000 stranded rail passengers were moved to safer places by various agencies. Train services were affected due to landslides at Lumding, Badarpur hill section and nearby areas. Rain and landslides also damaged houses in many areas. Revenue and Disaster Management Minister Jogen Mohan is taking stock of the situation in the worst-hit Dima Hasao district. Our correspondent reports that nearly 57,000 people are affected in 7 districts in the first wave of floods in Assam. Over 4,000 people are also taking shelter in relief camps. Wardha in Vidarbh region of Maharashtra became the hottest district in the state, with temperature rising 46.5 degrees Celsius yesterday. Other districts in the region which recorded temperature above 45 degrees are Chandrapur, Brahmapuri, Nagpur and Amravati.
Karnataka has entered the final of the 12th Hockey India Senior Women National Championship. In the first semi-final played in Bhopal, Karnataka beat Haryana 2-0. The second semi-final will be played between Odisha and Jharkhand at 4 p.m. today. The final will be held tomorrow to decide the champion of the title. In IPL cricket, Punjab Kings will take on Delhi Capitals at D.Y. Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai at 7:30 p.m. today. Last night, Rajasthan Royals defeated Lucknow Super Giants by 24 runs at the Brabourne Stadium in Mumbai. In another match played earlier yesterday at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, Gujarat Titans defeated Chennai Super Kings by 7 wickets.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. National capital Delhi is generally cloudy with possibility of dust storm or thunderstorm, very light rain or drizzle. The minimum temperature was 35 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 41 degrees. Mumbai is expected to have a mainly clear sky. Chennai is likely to have thunderstorm with rain. Kolkata is likely to have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder and lightning. Srinagar and Jammu are expected to have partly cloudy sky. Muzaffarabad is likely to have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Visakhapatnam, Thiruvananthapuram and Bengaluru are expected to have generally cloudy sky. In the northeast, Guwahati, Shillong, Itanagar are expected to have generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi takes part in Buddha Jayanti celebrations at Maya Devi Temple in Lumbini, Nepal. Strengthening of India-Nepal ties, focus of bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Modi and his Nepalese counterpart Sher Bahadur Deoba. Prime Minister to visit the Mahaparinirvan Stupa in Kushinagar, Uttar Pradesh this afternoon. Buddha Purnima being celebrated across the globe. 11 ministers inducted in Tripura cabinet by Chief Minister Manik Saha. Centre allows Food Corporation of India to procure wheat in Punjab, Haryana and Chandigarh. Met Department predicts relief from heat wave from tomorrow in Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana and Delhi. 7 districts of Assam reeling under flood, affecting nearly 57,000 people. In hockey, Karnataka enters final of Senior Women National Championship, beating Haryana 2-0. Second semi-final between Odisha and Jharkhand at 4 p.m. today. And in IPL cricket, Punjab Kings to take on Delhi Capitals is D.Y. Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.